What's up, Sand Shark fans? Welcome to another edition of the Sand Shark Rewind, brought to you by Tanger of Hilton Head. I'm your host, Bracken Lambert, alongside my regulars, Justin Jarrett, Wes Kerr, and tonight with a special guest, Mr. Max Raj. How's it going, fellas? Happy Sunday.
Same to you.
Yes, happy Sunday indeed. It was beautiful. I got to spend most of it on the diamonds. I went and
What a difference a week makes in the weather, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, they were covered in snow last week, and this
Yep.
week I was out there raking on them and hitting fly balls, and it was good times.
That's all you can ask for. Yeah, a busy weekend for USCB athletics, man. Whew. I'm still recovering.
Busy. Not just weekend. Started on Friday. You had Friday, Saturday, Sunday grind. You had a 3-day weekend of work.
Yeah, thankfully there was no home events today, so I kind of got to take it easy, just a smidge, just getting up and getting all the graphics posted. But yeah, everything started on Friday. It started bright and early. We had a not going to get into the names. We had a soccer coach candidate on campus, so we had a meet and greet Friday morning. So we're still waiting. So we'll see how that goes. And then went right into baseball. And man, it was what a weekend. Let's just say that. What a weekend. Let's talk.
Yeah, we got to see what the number 4 team in the country looks like as far as baseball goes. We gave them hell for one game, but we didn't have the horses the rest of the way.
No. Yeah. So yeah, let's go ahead and talk baseball. Yeah, what a game in that first game 1.
Oh my God.
My God.
I mean, 10 runs in the 7th inning to go from 10-0 down. After Norco was played, they got all of it back to tie up the game down 10 runs, and they put up a 10 spot. I mean, it's not surprising to me. This Ted Faulkner team, we've seen it before. We've seen the mantra that he has given to this team is they're not going to go down without a fight. And we saw that in that first game, and man, what an epic story it could have been if they could have finished the job in extra innings. But nonetheless, a terrific effort in that first game. And then you as the series went on, you definitely saw why this North Greenville State team is ranked where they are, because they have some, first of all, some talented players in the lineup. But in addition to that, they shut down USCB pretty impressively with their pitching, especially with the guys they put in relief. Sand Sharks, young team, a lot of new faces trying to, improve this group in terms of who Ted Faulkner wants to see out there. And right now, I'm excited for some of the guys that I got to see on the call on Saturday. But it's a work in progress with this team. But that first game was a great sign just to witness what could be possible with this team. Not just the resilient factor, but some of the pieces that that this Ted Faulkner coaching staff has brought in, which I think will make some big impacts down the road. But I'm just, first of all, just great to be back at Richard Gray. Nothing like it. It's a fantastic venue to call a game at and to be a part of, and just great to get baseball and softball season underway this weekend. And we'll definitely talk a lot of softball because that team performed very well over the weekend. But I'm excited for this, for what we'll see with Ted Faulkner's group. I think there are a lot of new pieces that are eventually going to really shine for this team as we head into the meat of the season.
I'm going to notice something because JJ, both you and I both grinned as soon as Wes said a terrific venue. Like, we love Hardyville, but
I love it. It's not a great venue to call a game.
It's not a great venue.
I will have to disagree with you.
Very difficult
on that.
It's
it has a lot of sentimentality.
I think
the park. I love the place,
but we will not miss it when we're gone.
Right, and I'll never miss that dang press box and the
press box. And Wes, like I know that that's the one where we can talk about it all day. Is like that. It's just such a hard place to call. You're not on.
Yeah, top of there are parts of the outfield where you are blocked. Seeing what's going on. So you're in the dark.
Like fly ball down the line. Oh, they're saying out. They're saying out.
No. What you do is they hit a fly ball down the line. You're going like this over the window trying to see it. but it's fun. But we had a great showing for those games too. A lot of people showed
Yeah,
up. For those games, so
And
yeah,
North
Joe.
Greenville
I
getting
like what I
snuggled
saw
up.
from Joe Turner, and then
Oh
on
yeah,
top of that,
Joe Turner, the two-way wonder.
yeah,
Mhm.
I'm
yeah,
excited about that.
well,
and then
how about
but
USCB Shane?
also there, yeah, but yeah, there were some impressive guys that we got to see for the first time, and
Yes.
as well, on top of that, Jeremy Brown,
Yep.
who
Oh,
has
yeah.
showcased some pop from
Yep.
that first game at a big time home run, and I like his mechanics. I like the way he swings the bat when he steps in there, and I think that what the Sand Sharks, and this jury's still out, but I think what the Sand Sharks have been missing is that guy in the middle of the lineup who's going to provide that power. And so I think there are several guys that have stood out to me, especially those two that did go deep, but some others as well who I thought had some solid initial impressions this year that I think are going to provide more of that balanced offensive attack. And Nico Andre, what a player that he is.
Yep.
Obviously, you go back to the walk off last year, but that guy just seems to always come up big, and provides solid at bats for his team. It's great to see, great to get him back for another year because he seems like he's going to be even more important. Terry Dean, it was great
hmm
to see him in there, and a lot of new faces. Luke
I like the
Doty,
depth.
Cooper McDaniel saw a good amount of
Yeah.
time over the weekend series, and uh, I'm I'm looking forward to seeing more from these younger players because there are some things that I've grown to like about them, but it's more of just trying to get reps at this point and going from there because it's a tough part of the journey for these younger guys. And some of these transfers even. So you're trying to see what you got if you're Coach Faulkner at this point. But the first game was a struggle offensively. They only got one hit. So it was Nico Andre. He had the only hit of the game for USCB. North Greenville just that bullpen completely shut down
Oh, they
USCB's
had some
offense.
dudes throwing
Yeah,
gas
it
out of the
was
pen.
one heck of a showing from that North Greenville side. Their pitching depth is absolutely
Oh,
insane.
it's amazing.
And then game two, it was tight on Saturday. It was 4-3. I
Yeah,
mean, it was back and forth the first four innings,
and they
and
broke
then
it
it,
open.
it fell apart in the sixth. And
One bad inning will
after
do you
that,
in against
it
a good
was
team.
yeah,
Yeah.
yep,
Well,
that
that's
was
the, I
tough.
mean,
But it was a great measuring stick to
Yeah,
start. And what I
absolutely. And
loved
and
was
that's the basis of why, as I said in the broadcast, is why Ted Faulkner is scheduling a team like this. You're going to
right,
find out what your deficiencies are. You're going to find out what you're
right.
going to need to improve on to get the team like that. And now obviously you know that you're going to have to find more opportunities to get reps to the plate. And
Yeah.
how are your younger guys going to grow in terms of their approach when
Well, I
they
love
step
that they played 19 position players and threw 20 arms.
yeah.
You know, I
You
mean,
get to see a ton of
that's
pitches as well.
that's almost like regardless of the outcomes, that's like a dream weekend to
Yeah.
open the season. You got to play 4 games, you got to
Yeah.
see 39 guys play and
At the end of the day,
against
it's
a top caliber
you don't
opponent,
expect
and you
to
got
win
to
those games.
evaluate.
Yeah, it would be nice to have taken one, but realistically, you're trying to see as many
Yeah.
of those newcomers as possible.
What do we
You wanna
got and who can do it against big
right,
boys?
right.
But I think that first game showed me that this is obviously it's a much different looking team than we saw last
Right.
year. But it shows me even through 4 games against one of the top teams in the country, and has been one of the top teams in the country for the last 3 to 5
Yeah,
years
they have
now.
been
I mean, like we're
consistently
talking about
one of the
we're
better.
talking about a program who won a national championship at
Yeah.
the Division II level 2 years ago.
Right.
So it's a
hmm
very solid team to start
Yep.
the season off against at home. But it shows me the potential this team has as the season continues. It's first weekend in the year. You're gonna make mistakes as a team, but you're gonna learn from those mistakes. And I think this team is got a ceiling much higher than I think I saw last season's team. Like I had hope for last season's team, especially towards the end when we thought they may actually make the playoffs. And of course, came 1 game short. But I like what this team looks like and the amount
Right.
of depth that they have. I mean, 39 players played over 4 games. That's
hmm
impressive, and I think we're gonna see we're gonna have a lot of fun this year. I'm excited for it.
Got a winnable stretch of games coming now too.
Yep.
Yes,
Albany State comes in.
Albany
this
State's
weekend.
not bad now. I mean,
Yep.
they're a solid squad.
But
they
they're
went
winning. But
37-12
these games
last year,
they'll be
but it's
winnable
a more
for sure.
yeah.
And I
then
expect the
Savannah
Sand
State.
Sharks to compete in these weekend games and starting
All
off
at
Friday
home.
nights.
Yeah.
At
Home
5
Friday,
o'clock, and what
Saturday,
should be a busy weekend
home
over there
Friday,
at
Saturday, Tuesday.
Yeah,
Tuesday.
yeah,
Alright.
Tuesday afternoon game as well. Or yeah,
Baseball season's here.
Yeah. I'm so happy that baseball season's here.
Me too.
yeah.
I'm so happy.
I've been ready to get outside.
Yeah, me too, man.
Especially with the weather, how good
But-
it's been getting over there.
But Bracken,
Yeah,
how about that softball team,
Yeah.
baby?
And I'm telling you, I've been texting Cody for the last couple of hours, getting everything so because I still don't have game files yet from Converse. I know that they were hosting. But if you have somebody stat in the game, you're on a computer, you should be able to email it over to the SIDs pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I don't know. So thankfully I was able to get most of what I needed to write a story. So as soon as we get done here, I'm going to post that. Just posted the post game, and but no, my pick for pitcher of the week. I mean, obviously I'm a little biased. Is going to be Sierra. Man, she is going to anchor that staff. God, you wish you just had one more year with her again. I know this is her senior year. You've had her for 2 years previous, but she is
the anchor of this team. There's no doubt about that. And we saw what she did the last 2 seasons about how meaningful and how valuable she was. And to have that number 1 pitcher in softball was everything. And she is going to provide such an important presence for this team. And we definitely saw that throughout this weekend because having that standout arm in softball especially so important, and the team can feed off of it. And I am thoroughly impressed with what I saw through 4 games and 3 wins for Kodieski's team.
Yeah, I mean, she picks up 2 wins and picks up a save. She threw what was it, 13 and a third innings this weekend. 5 innings in game 1 against Anderson. Pitched an inning in the third in the first game. This one, and then threw a complete game shutout in game 2 against Converse. So real solid outing there for Sierra. And then yesterday you had your pick of the crop for whoever you say want to be player of the game or whatnot. As Mackenzie Four had 2 homers, Jaden Goodwin had a homer, Addie Reynolds had a homer. Addie moves into 5th place all time. She just passed Taylor Triplett for 5th.
Wow.
And
tremendous.
And JJ, you know that. You watched Taylor play for 4 years. I watched her play for 3. And
Taylor could hit tanks.
And she was part of that squad, man, where
she had a vicious swing.
Mariah Sanborn, Maddie Bird, Taylor.
Mariah Sanborn, if you missed in middle into her, it was in the freaking pond. And it
really
gone.
was.
Maddie Bird hit the most beautiful, majestic, towering left-handed home runs. Just beautiful.
I talk about it often, but the one that she hit off the light post.
Off the pole.
Oh, man.
It was like the natural, bro.
The legend lives on.
It was like 3/4 of the way up the light pole. I mean, just absolute tank.
We need to try to get some of them on here. And
that would be fun. A Sand Shark softball reunion show.
Yeah.
I don't know where
there were some real personalities in that mix.
Yeah.
Zip's still around.
Zip's still on Hilton Head. Sam is over here in Charleston. No, she and Corey actually just moved back up to Chapin, up where she's from.
I know Caitlin's teaching in Columbia.
Yep.
Cool.
Caitlin Vaughn.
The OG Sand Shark.
That was my girl.
Caitlin Vaughn, man. What a team.
She was the best.
Yeah.
Still is. She's a tremendous teacher. I bet she's coaching softball up there. I'd bet almost anything.
Yeah. But
she's not, I might try to lure her to the Ville.
Yeah. And then Darren Miller today, not only does she take care of business in the field as probably, I mean, Zip was a Gold Glove defender when we were here, during the OG season, but Darren is something else too, man. She's incredible.
She's phenomenal.
And she did it today with the stick. She picked up a couple of RBIs in game 1, and then Jaden again had another RBI that was the lone run that we scored in game 2. So, but yeah, a huge win for them. Get the season started for them off on the right foot. And I kind of wrote about it in my little preview story beforehand. That 20-25 record does not show those
No, it
games.
does not.
You had the number 1 team in North Georgia, the defending national champions at the time last year, on the ropes in Dahlonega. You're ahead by 2, and then a crappy mistake that usually never gets called happens. And then you come back the next weekend and the same thing happens to us, and it happens against us is because they changed well, they meant to do so. Well, follow the rules. If you don't announce the reentry, it's all kind of so. But
I remember talking about that last year. I remember it was frustrating.
That was a tough sequence there. It really explains how close they were to really picking up what would have been a signature win that season, and possibly securing a better position in the standings as well. And a lot of those young ladies are going to be back. You mentioned Sarah Kinlaw, but a lot of those stars offensively, Addie Reynolds, man, she's been one of the best players I have seen. I've only been here for a few years, but she might be the best that I've seen in terms of pure hitters, and definitely the best catcher I've seen throughout my time here. But you got Goodwin, you mentioned her. So there's so many tremendous power hitters that have developed Mackenzie Ford, but then you have some speed in Darren Miller, who has become a veteran of the squad, and
Whitlock and Simmons. There's some real speed on that roster.
That's going to be the big factor is on the roster, and Cody will tell you this. They only have 3 true outfielders: Tamaya, Darren, and Saria.
Tamaya's a good one. They're
all 3 really good.
Yeah, those 3 are going to be it. Expect to see Jaden in the outfield at some point this year.
Yeah.
And
she's kind of a stick that you just kind of she's a stick that you find a spot in the lineup for.
Yeah. And then also something from the fall, Kaylee Eubanks, man. She played a little bit of first last year, and then that was it. But that was huge. She's going to play a lot. I think she's going to get a lot of time out there. Maybe give a chance just to kind of get some rest for Tamaya or Saria or Darren out there, and you put Kaylee out there for a game or so.
Yeah, just so you don't have injury issues either. Like
what happened to Max's mic?
Max is jumbled up right there. I don't know. And then the other thing I was just for USCB, I think it's going to be. We talked a lot about Sarah Kinlaw, but who's gonna develop into that trusty number 2 role when it comes to that second starter or potentially that reliever, which is that's incredibly important because you're going to be in some games against some quality teams. So I mean, Abby Ramirez has shown that she can handle it. You have Cassie Brundage as well, who can.
I like Cassie. Going on the toe the rubber to start the game. I think Abby's a little bit more effective coming out of the bullpen, I would say.
I agree with that. Yep.
And then you've got a couple of players, a couple of freshmen, Emily Morgan and Sydney Kibler, who can really, do it. And then you also don't forget those are your 2 freshmen that you got a JUCO transfer, Madison Murphy, who started game 2 yesterday. And just didn't get a feel for it. She just didn't have the feel, and that's okay. You just go in there and it happens. But
she couldn't find the zone, huh? Walk 4, so just didn't have it. I mean that's the thing. There's days where you just don't have it.
Yeah, but Murph was one that they really worked hard. Cody and Allison worked really hard on getting her there because they were in a battle with North Georgia for her. Lost one in North Georgia and then Murph came here. So huge thing to get Murph there. And she's from Chattanooga State Community College. So big thing there for them. So
Nice.
Um,
Yeah. No. Well, yeah, because that's like a double win. Because not only do you get her, but they don't.
right. So exciting times here in the Ville. I mean, if
Come to the Ville.
you're not busy on Saturday and you want to catch some baseball, softball, and basketball, well then come on over here and
Spend the day at US. Yeah,
basketball.
spend the day at the
Oh
Cove, and
yeah.
then
Are the tips different on
Richard Gray
Saturday?
and then the Cove.
Yes, they are different.
What a
5:30,
day!
7.
I am pumped. I am pumped. You know, how often do you get to be at
Oh
a
yeah. I got
baseball
it.
doubleheader during the day, and then drive over to the Cove and watch some high level hoops? It is going to be
That's
one
awesome.
exciting
And
afternoon,
softball.
evening.
Doubleheader softball as well.
Yeah,
That's
but
not the only
softball. I'm
sport
going to be on the
going
baseball
on
side, but yeah,
Saturday, is
softball will
it?
be home as well. So it
That's
is going to
awesome.
be, and that's the fun part is if you go to Richard Gray when both teams are playing,
Oh, it's great.
you can go back and
Oh,
forth
it's
and watch
so much
both.
fun.
And you can just eat as many Mr. Terry pork chops as you can
Yes,
handle.
Oh,
yes.
That's the one thing we have to figure out how to get Terry at the new ballpark
Yeah.
when we get
Well,
there
I mean, I
because
think he'll be able to. I don't know why the Barracudas wouldn't want to come over there and make even more money doing the concessions.
yeah. So
yeah.
Saturday is day. Saturday, every team in going at once. We do have every team going minus men's golf. Women's golf is over in Beaufort at Cat Island. Oh, there's my
Yeah.
thumbs up. Women's golf is over doing a dual match with SCAD Savannah at Cat Island. Baseball and softball are in Hardyville. Basketball starts at 5:30, 7:30 against Georgia Southwestern, and track and field is up in Virginia at the Liberty University Invitational. So, Chat GPT, you are my friend for recaps. If you notice that it's not
no. Don't train the robots. I hate the robots.
No, well, I'll get somebody to I'll find something. Honestly, if I have kids statting, I can write a lot during. That's what I was able to do yesterday.
Just keep them recaps short and simple.
That's what they were.
Just the facts, ma'am.
That's all I need. I'm not doing runs and all that kind of stuff. But let's talk some track and field a little bit and talk a little bit of men's golf and then we'll with basketball before we get out of here a little bit early tonight. But yeah, track and field had a solid outing on Friday at the Carolina Challenge up in Columbia. Ja'Cory Herring is now number 66 in all of Division II. I believe it's in the 400. He's just a freshman. He told me he's coming after Brandon Gordine's record.
That's one we should get on here, Gordine.
Yeah, I don't know what he's up to, man. I haven't talked to him since I graduated. So, but yeah, and then Cam Edwards and Sam Mitchell both had solid outings and all that kind of stuff in their respective events and their jumps. And you got to look on the girl side too. Sophia Stalford and DeAndre Brown, both very good outings in the throws. You're competing against, Division I talent there.
Right.
And the thing about what Coach Harris has done is she brought in a lot of freshmen, a lot of young runners, a lot of run field athletes. And so right now they're setting PRs every week. So that's the solid, exciting part is that you're like, oh, hey, every single time you have a new mark to beat.
Right.
Yep.
That's the goal. I mean, that's the name of the game. Like, just keep getting a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better.
I will say track and field is the hardest sport for me to completely understand. I never did a lot of it. It's because when I'm looking at it now,
it's hard to put into context. Yeah, it's hard to put into context.
You can just say, oh, hey, they did this and they did that. That's about it. So
yeah,
Coach Terry.
One thing that was suggested to me when I had your job, and I started on it, but don't know that I ever finished it, but or maybe I had it at one point, but it would need updating, was a performance list, all-time performance list in each event. Top 10,
Yeah.
you know, all-time marks, and then top 10 all-time performers. So one where you can take more than one spot on the list, and one where you can only take one spot on the list.
Gotcha.
And that would be pretty cool, because that would give you some context to give to it. You know, when somebody hit a mark that was in the top 10 all time, that would be meaningful
Right.
in program history. So that's something that, you know, maybe we could work on. We could put the whole team on it over the summer and give everybody an event.
Oh, a
And
nice
go back
project
through
to do during the
go back
during
through all
summer.
the old records.
Yep.
There is some stuff on the cross country side. I know that was
Yeah, I
something.
think that's what I think I got that done, and then I started on track, but it was too daunting. I didn't get through it.
Yeah. So we have all the individual records, the all-time records in both track and field events in the record book right now.
Right.
As far as top 10, I'm not sure, because
that would just be a cool way to kind of put things in context and
Yeah.
remember like all the people historically who were like the top.
pretty
top
good,
of
pretty
the top.
solid. Yeah. So over to the links, men's golf competed at so usually they compete in a team event. This one is the Thomas Sharkey individual. So only 4
Georgia
golfers.
Southern, right?
Yeah. Only 4 golfers competed this weekend, and Aaron Williams finished tied for 27th at 6 over. He started off rough. He started with an 80 in round 1, but he followed that up with a 70 in round 2, and then shot an even par in round 3 today. So finishes 27th, tied for 27th overall.
By the way, we're the only D2 in this thing, because Augusta's D1 in golf, right?
Yes, that is correct.
We had Augusta, Auburn, Middle Tennessee, Georgia Southern, Ohio State, South Carolina, Clemson, South Florida, Mississippi State, East Tennessee State, Mississippi, Florida, Marshall, Georgia State, Liberty, Duke, and Tennessee Martin.
Yes, all
They're
Division
playing
I
with the
schools.
big
We are
boys.
the only Division II school. In previous years, we were the only NAIA school able to go to that tournament, because I know that's something that Corey is very pumped about, that every year that they get to go to.
Yeah,
So,
that was a special opportunity to go up against a bunch of Division I opponents.
Yeah,
and this
Aaron
is
was
a
a
sport
former
where
Division I
USCB has been
golfer.
able to hold their own against these D1 squads, and that's always fun to see.
Yeah, and then Eric Rengart, who is only a freshman, had a rough couple rounds, and he had a really solid fall, but he just kind of struggled here in this first tournament, which that's going to happen every time. Personally, I think golf's one of the hardest games in the world to play. And they say baseball is hit a round ball with a round bat, but I mean, try to hit a golf ball straight 72 times.
I think playing golf well, playing golf well is really, really, really difficult.
Yeah.
So, yeah, congratulations to Aaron for having a solid day. Shot 2 under or 1 under in his 70 round, and then a even par today. So great job to them.
Yeah, I mean,
he started off rough, shot at 80, and then still climbed back to T27 with those last 2 rounds. So that's solid.
I mean, to be able to have the opportunity to compete against top tier D1 programs, like, I mean, Clemson's up there with some of the top programs in the country. So, like, to be able to face off against multiple D1 teams and see what you have and what you can work on, that's a great opportunity for USCB to be able to play in an event as big as that one, and it is a huge event. I always see something about it every year when it comes around, and it's always really special. And I'm really happy that USCB gets to participate in something like that.
So we'll move into our last 2 segments that we kind of have talked on all season long, is with basketball. And I mean, women's team, I think the caption, it said itself pretty much the best you can. Rough stretch.
It has been.
Man,
they were so close.
And I don't think that it's over. I don't think you still got a shot. You take 2 from Aiken. and but this was the game that you really needed to take care of with Clayton because they were right there on the lower tier of the standings.
Yeah, and we needed that sweep. That sweep would have been sweet because that would have
Yeah.
taken care of any head-to-head.
Yep, we've had tiebreaker there. That's
so
margins are
then
thin.
Clayton State beat
And we
Augusta.
had that thing, man. It was right there for the taking, and there were a couple times where if we would just box out the shooter, they got so many cracks at the apple, so many bites at the apple. A few of those possessions because the shooter kept coming in and getting long rebounds. I was going crazy, driving home watching it.
You were.
Yeah, I was.
So,
but Mighty Mouse was a stud. That was good to see.
I told you that she's asking for a new nickname, right?
Oh, she wants a new nickname? She doesn't like Mighty Mouse anymore?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know the reason why, but she was like, "Do you think I can get a new nickname?" And I said, "I didn't come up with that." So
yeah, I mean nicknames happen. They don't sometimes
really. Sometimes they're put upon you.
Mighty Mouse is pretty good. She doesn't understand how cool Mighty Mouse is. Yes. Mighty Mouse is cool. Super cool. He's cooler than an underdog.
So, but other side, the men did their little that they were.
Men did their thing.
No, they got the job done on Saturday.
Yeah, that's what they needed.
One man win.
Oh yeah,
really strong road victory.
Yeah, that's a good win, especially going into next week and what the rest of the season holds, because it's not an easy stretch starting this week.
Just Lander's gonna be a big one. That's a gettable game, and that should be a
need to win it at home. Need to win it at home.
Yep.
I thought
Georgia
Braxton was getting
Southwestern is one you
gremlins.
certainly should win. The Lander game is going to be a fun one. That should be very competitive.
Look at that, 6 in double figures.
Yep.
And Spanos with 9.
I mean,
That's crazy.
Even
McKean and Musa and AJ got in the game, and Malin, everybody got in.
If you go, I think 3-0 in these next 3 games is definitely possible. I think that especially that Lander game, if you can get that one, you got Georgia Southwestern, which is certainly one that you have a shot to get at, and then Georgia College at Georgia College, never easy, but I think there's a real shot for a nice little win streak heading into a rematch with North Georgia on the 15th.
Yeah, and then it gets much more difficult from there too. Starting with.
Well, that's why it's so important to get these wins right here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you got to get them.
And I think Lander, I have high hopes for their game against Lander. I know Georgia Southwestern is a good program, but I have a feeling.
Yeah, but those are 2 teams you beat on the road, so you expect to beat them at home.
Expect to win at home.
Yeah.
But yes, that North Georgia, that stretch with North Georgia, the 2 games against Aiken, and Columbus State to finish. Columbus State and then Augusta to finish.
I mean, the beauty of that is that you have everything in your hands. Going down the stretch. If you win them all, you win the whole damn thing, and so that's kind of a cool thing, cool position to be in. But it can also go the other way. You could lose 4 of your last 5 or whatever and slide to the middle of the pack. So, but they seem to have weathered this little storm. I mean, they didn't. The first half of Flagler was a disaster, obviously, but the second half was amazing, and we were like, "Holy cow! If they can do that for even 30 minutes instead of 20, they're unstoppable." And then I thought they played well at Columbus State. I just thought Columbus State. I thought Columbus State just outplayed them. Played them at their own game, and they were just a little bit better. James was freaking amazing, and we didn't have an answer for him. We're going to struggle with good bigs. We just are. Because if they have skilled guards who can get the ball to them, we're going to have a hard time. We have to deny. And we're good at that. But if you get a combination of a skilled point guard and a skilled big, we're going to have a little bit of trouble. And we're going to have to offset that. And they just executed exceptionally well. But to come out and torch Clayton in the second half the way we did was good to see.
Yeah, it makes you feel good too, and I'm sure it made the team feel good after a rough well, not really rough, just hard fought games that just
Yeah,
didn't go
just a
their
couple
way.
heartbreakers.
A couple
Yeah.
ones that
Here's what I love the
tight.
most: 18 of 20 from the foul line.
Ooh,
Oh my
that
God,
is
yeah.
that's exactly what you want to see. Ron Fidel
That's
has
what,
to be
that's what
pleased.
you're missing.
Yep.
Who are the two who missed? I didn't look at
Uh,
the
actually, it was Dylan Lewis. He went 0 for 2.
Okay.
Missed them both.
You can forgive Dylan. He's pretty pure most of the time.
Hey, but
Yeah.
that's you'll
He
take
got
that any day.
scratched. So
with that
I don't know if
level
you'll
of foul
notice, but he
shooting.
was wearing the
Oh yeah, is he still wearing the mask
well, he's wearing the goggles. He got
or
scratched.
the goggles? Yeah,
His cornea got scratched
yeah.
during I believe it was the North Georgia game.
I remember seeing it happen in the game, and then he had the goggles.
Oh
the
yeah,
next
yeah,
game.
I do
Oh.
remember that. I
So
wondered what had happened, if he was okay or not, but
yeah. So we'll
I like
blame it
when
on-
he forgets he has his goggles up by his hair, and he has to put them on.
So a big game on Wednesday. Yeah, big game on Wednesday and big game on Saturday. I know Georgia Southwestern's going to probably be out for blood
Mhm.
after the
Oh,
game.
yeah.
We came back and beat them after leading the entire game and then giving that one up. Oh man, but I don't know. Did y'all, Wes? I know. I told you when we were in the press box, but North Georgia lost to Flagler. on
Yeah,
Saturday.
that was
Wow.
surprising.
So
Flagler's
But
tough.
honestly, like you saw what Flagler did here against the
Flagler's
Sand
tough.
Sharks. I mean, there's so
yeah,
many.
but yeah.
They didn't. I mean, yes, they won the game, but like if we picked up that rebound,
Oh
Right.
yeah,
Yeah,
game
but
done.
I mean,
Game over.
they
Yeah.
were still pretty
They were
impressive on the
tough.
road. Like they
or if you go
he gave
18 for
himself a
20
chance
from
to
the free
win.
throw
And
line,
so I mean, you got to give them credit for how they played. I'm just saying that
Yeah.
this is a deep conference. I mean, at least like
Oh,
the
yeah,
top
I
6 or
mean-
7, or even 8, or I mean, this like I said, if
There's no gimmies.
yeah, there's no gimmicks.
Oh, no,
That's
never.
what's gonna make March so interesting. That's the
Yep.
fun of it. Is
I'm
if you get
excited
in, if you
Be a
if you get an
blast.
opportunity to get in the dance, which Sand Sharks have almost a certain shot at by the way they are. Obviously, you got to play out the rest and see where you finish up. But I mean, it's there for the taking. I really
Yeah.
think so. I really think it's still there for the taking.
How
Obviously,
about 2
Columbus State's a very
freshmen
good
leading the
team,
way on
but
Saturday too?
USCB
Yeah,
showed
right.
they were right there. I mean, it was like a 5-6 point game until the end. A couple
Yeah.
shots go the other way, and
Mhm.
you never know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Atwell
Well-
had 22. Easton had 15. The freshman shall lead them.
That's
I
right.
love it.
I mean, again,
Right.
both those guys play bigger than they are, and they're so mature
Yeah.
on the court. So, but now let's wrap the episode with our favorite. Let's talk about the regional rankings. So
Oh.
last week, on my side, Columbus, Lenore Ryan, Lincoln Memorial, North Georgia, USCB, Aiken, Augusta, Carson Newman, Coker, and Flagler were my votes. And the way the poll came out, Columbus State, Lenore Ryan, LMU, North Georgia, Aiken, us, Carson Newman, Pembroke, Augusta, and Coker is the way it rolled out. So I know Columbus State lost yesterday to
I think North Georgia's out, bro. They're 5-4 in conference.
Wow.
13
I didn't
and 8
think they were.
overall.
I thought they only had 3 losses.
Nope,
Wow,
they
that's
lost to us. They lost to Columbus State,
yeah.
and they lost to Flagler.
And somebody else.
And
Was
click-
it Aiken?
yeah, click on
It
them.
may have been Aiken.
Might have been.
Yep, they did lose
Yep.
to
It
Aiken.
was Aiken. That's
Flagler,
right, because they were at home.
USCB.
They
Yeah,
lost 2
Columbus.
straight. So yeah, they're out.
I think they're probably out. I think in our conference you got to go Columbus, Augusta, us, Aiken, and maybe Lander.
God, those top teams on the leaderboard. God, it's so close. I love this. It is so much fun.
Well, yeah, on the SAC side, man, that's there's something else, man. They've got
What?
Yeah, Lincoln Memorial and Lenore Ryan are definitely in there. Carson Newman's on the bubble. And that's about it for me. And then the
Yeah.
other one's the bad conference, right? What's it called? Conference Carolina.
Conference Carolinas. So Lincoln Memorial won 2 straight. Lenore Ryan lost 1-1 this week. They lost to Carson Newman in double overtime, 114-111. Coker is 14-6 overall. They've won. They were 1-1 this week.
Oh, jeez.
Oh my goodness! They smoked. Well, I mean, it's not really a smoke. They also gave up 117 points, but they beat Mars Hill 131-117.
Who did? Coker?
Coker beat
Good
Mars Hill.
Lord.
Yeah.
Jeez.
131.
My
131.
goodness.
Wow.
I'm looking at
That's wild.
They
Crazy.
scored 69 points in the first half, 62 in the second. My
Jeez,
goodness.
man.
Mm.
That's
Apparently,
insane.
softball made a raid on us on IG.
Oh,
What is that? What?
Interesting.
On
Instagram?
Instagram.
yeah.
Yeah,
Who did,
we
though?
sort of recapped the big seventh inning. We didn't go play by play through it, but
Yeah.
we
Pembroke-
talked about how
Pembroke's
Narcos
looking like
sparked
the only
it.
team for me right now out of this conference.
Yeah, I mean, Chowan, you got to look at Chowan because
They're 5-0 they're 5-0 in their division.
they have their divisional. That messes me up.
Yeah, that did mess me up. I thought honestly Pembroke was the only ones, but I did
This
see
is
that.
their overall record: 12-6, 13-6.
Yeah, it might just be Chowan and Pembroke.
So
Is
Chowan
there
and
anyone
Pembroke
else?
are the only two,
Worthy?
I think. Young Harris maybe
Emmanuel?
or Emmanuel,
Young
but
Harris,
8 losses is a lot.
Erskine.
So it's hard to argue for more than a couple from this league.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's
I mean,
easily
right
a
now-
5 each vote.
I think right now Lincoln Memorial is probably your number one.
Over Columbus?
I mean, Columbus lost. They didn't.
Who did Columbus lose to?
Augusta.
Yeah, maybe you could flip-flop them, I guess.
Yeah.
I still think Columbus might be the best team in the region, but
I mean, I agree. I'm still going to vote them number one, but
Yeah, I would too. Especially with
I just
what
think
I
the
saw
Peach is the best
play.
region. I think the best team in the Peach is probably number one for me. But I mean, the top two sort of separated a little bit, right? But then like Augusta is right in there. You got to consider them top 5, I think, for sure. And then I think we're right behind them.
Yep.
So Aiken lost to Georgia College on yesterday.
Yeah,
Interesting.
that stuff's
So-
gonna happen.
So then you look at it and you're like, okay, where,
Yeah, you could put them ahead of us. I think it goes Columbus, Augusta, and then I think you could go either way with
Either
us and
way,
Aiken.
yeah. Agreed.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean,
Agree.
so I mean, if you're looking at from last week,
And then Lander.
yeah, Lander's up there now. Flagler.
I'd take all 5 of those in the top 10. You could make an argument for North Georgia over one of those teams from the other leagues, but I don't know
But
that you
they
need
lost.
to.
Yeah, not
Yeah, I know.
the way they've played.
I'm just talking about overall picture, or Flagler for that matter.
Yeah.
I would put Flagler in
Flagler.
over them right now.
I'd put Flagler ahead of North Georgia, and I'd consider them.
Oh yeah, agreed.
So you could go 6 deep from the Peach, and then 2 each from the other 2, and I think you get away with that.
Yeah,
You'd have
mean,
to
I
look
think
at Flagler versus Carson Newman, but I think I like Flagler better.
did Augusta win both games this week? Are they still on a big winning
Yeah,
streak?
because they're tied with Columbus now for first place.
Yeah,
Okay.
they are. Yeah.
So they lost
They're
to
both 7-2, I think.
their last loss was to North Georgia, and they haven't played Lander yet. So
God, this conference.
Yeah, they beat Georgia College and Columbus State this week, and their Lander game was postponed, so they'll get them later.
yeah, I'm gonna put Augusta up there, and then
Yeah.
I'm still gonna put us up above Aiken because we.
Yeah, either way, it's fine. I think that's how close Aiken and USCB are right now. For me, if I was doing this,
Yeah, it can go either
I
way.
which makes those 2 games when they come around, like,
Right.
they're going to be fun to watch. That's for sure.
I'm gonna go UNCP after that,
Yeah, that's
and kind of just see how everything pans out, man. I mean, Flagler, I think, deserves to be in
There's
there.
no right answer. or
No,
wrong
right
No.
now, I
answer.
think
I mean, sometimes there's wrong answers, but there's
Mm.
there's not a perfect answer.
no. I think Lander, who got snubbed last week, gets in for sure.
Hmm.
I got one more spot.
What do you got in there? What do you got right now?
Columbus, Lincoln Memorial, Lenore Rhine, Augusta, us, Aiken, Pembroke, Lander, Flagler.
Showing.
I got more.
Yeah, I was gonna
I'll
say
probably go
Chowan.
Chowan.
Mm.
I mean,
Think
they're 5-0 in the region.
Is it Chowan or Chowan? I've never known.
Chowan,
Chowan.
Chowan.
Down.
Yeah,
Chowan.
I mean, because I'm looking at Coker. They went 1-1. They lost by 5 to Anderson. So, yeah, I think Chowan's a good start. I mean, again, I'm just one of the 6 voters.
That's right. And you gotta, rep the peach.
Yeah, I mean, I think.
Rep the conference.
I mean, I think after this, you just look at it and say, "There's no way that the peach is not."
Lander, hardly know her. Gotta love a good Lander joke.
You gotta
But-
love a Kevin Libby joke.
Oh yeah.
So, anyway, fellas, I think that'll do it. And then also we can add another one into this term too, is because I'm on the baseball voting as well.
All
So-
right. All right. All
Ooh.
right. All right. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
And that's
Now I
on,
gotta get uber invested in Conference Carolinas and sack baseball.
Dude, Conference Carolinas, man.
so
Well, their baseball may be better. I don't know.
yeah.
Their basketball's not too strong this year.
So,
No.
but final thoughts before we wrap up. Max, start us off. Final thoughts.
We're really excited for baseball season to begin, as well as softball. Softball had a great weekend. Baseball, not so much, but I think the ceiling's high for this baseball team this year, so I look forward to seeing them as the
Wes?
season continues.
Yeah, it's going to be a tremendous weekend coming up. Sand Shark Athletics, the opportunity to be a part of baseball, softball, and then hoops. Surrounding that, we have golf, track, and field going on. It's going to be one heck of a Saturday around here and across the Peach Belt and beyond, and going to be fun to be a part of that and to be on the call and do some spotting duties as well for a couple of important basketball games for our 2 teams. So hey, I love it. Crossover season is I certainly, it's a lot of work, but it's very, very rewarding, and one of those one of those weeks of the year that is going to be one you won't
If it
forget.
doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger.
Yep.
Yeah, no. Yeah,
Speaking of
it's
which,
gonna be
Bracken,
fun.
get some sleep, man. You're gonna need it this week.
Yeah, get some rest, buddy.
Yeah.
Well, a couple of closing notes for me. One, I'm very excited for baseball and softball season in general, especially as Sand Sharks, but also for Hardyville, because Hardyville High School, the Ville, we're starting baseball and softball practice tomorrow. I'm the varsity softball coach, which is crazy. I'm excited to try to teach the game to some girls who don't know much about it but are excited to learn. And to tie it back to the Sand Sharks, I found our baseball coach finally this weekend. I actually went out Friday night to the ball game. Even though we were getting routed, my guy Bennett Romer from May River was on the hill for North Greenville. So, I made one last pitch to Brian Meyer. I've offered them the job a number of times, and he's turned it down each time. So this time I said, Brian, last chance, man. And he looked right at Eamon Collins, who said, dude, I think this is exactly what I've been looking for. And we talked through that whole debacle of a game. We ignored the game and talked about the prospect of him coaching baseball in Hardyville. And we have an agreement in principle. We still got to dot the I's and cross the T's with HR and all that. But Eamon already started building our bullpen mounds today, and he's ready to take over this blank canvas and coach baseball in Hardyville. So super excited, man. Super guy, first no-hitter in USCB history. Went on and played with the Bananas and the Party Animals. And he came from a 1A high school in Virginia from, kind of a similar type of area as here, and is familiar with kind of what it's going to be like in the Ville, and he's pumped. So I couldn't be more excited. It's going to be awesome.
I'm excited for that.
So, yep, crossover season is among us, guys, and like y'all said, definitely needed to go get some rest, but we're going to be full-fledged Wednesday night, 5:30, 7:30 in the Cove. Bring it out, man. Come out and support the Sand Sharks. Really get out there and support.
Saturday night special.
Yes.
And then,
prime time, baby.
Yeah, under the lights.
5:30, 7:30 on Saturday as well. We're giving Georgia Southwestern. They're used to it. They only play 5:30, 7:30. They've made that.
Oh yeah.
Interesting.
So that's not going to affect.
I
them
like
too much.
it.
But it's a 5 o'clock. That's a long drive from Americus, and then
Show is.
So, yeah, baseball starts Friday night, 5 o'clock, and then picks up on Saturday,
11
and
11.
4, roughly. And then softball starts at 12 and 3. Well, it says 12 and 2 on the schedule, but it never starts on time.
That's not realistic.
That's not realistic to play 2 games that quickly. And then basketball starts 5:30, 7:30. Got the women's golf team who's going to be over at, again, Cat Island. So local tournament, little dual match with Scad Savannah.
Cool little track too. Cat Island's a fun little track.
It's a fun course. Number 3 is the hardest par 4 on the course. And my only claim to fame on the golf course is that I birdied that when I was a kid. It was one of my
I like that little Island Green par 3. That one's cool.
Oh, I hate that hole. I hate that.
Well, I mean, it's hard. I like watching other people play it though.
Yeah.
I like it as a spectator or a journalist, not as a golfer.
Yeah, but crazy weekend, and then softball plays Eckerd for a single game on Sunday as well. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, full weekend. And athletics again. We do so. But
that's what's up.
Max Raj, Wes Kerr, Justin Barrett, I am Bracken Lumber, and thank you as always for watching another episode of the Sand Shark Rewind presented by Tanger of Hilton. And we will see you guys next time. As always, keep those fans up. Have a good night, guys.